Here's how to make a generous sized velvet bum bag with a zip closing. Cut out all your pieces of velvet against the printed part. Make sure that you copy all your centre markings top and bottom. Fuse the fleece to the back of your lining piece and then place your velvet pieces of the bag on top of the lining and copy out all the shapes. So you end up with the bag pieces in both lining and in velvet. Take your zip and add a pin at one end to make sure that you do not lose the cursor, and then make a mark for the centre of the zip, both top and bottom. Just make a little clip in the top and the bottom so that you can keep your centre mark together with the centre of the bag. On the front piece of the velvet bag, position the zip so that the centre marks match up with the cursor of the zip facing the velvet, and then place the lining of the bag again matching up that centre point over the top, right sides together so you have the zip sandwiched in between your velvet and your lining. If you wear your bag to the right, make sure that your cursor is to the right when closed, and if you wear your bag to the left, to the left. Using a zipper foot, stitch along this line 8 mm away from the edge. Now place the top of the bag against the other side of the zipper, always with the cursor against the velvet and matching centre points, and repeat stitching along the size of the curve. Take your time to make sure that the zip stays along the curve. Now take the lining part of the top and clip that again along the same curve, right sides together, and we re-stitch this along the same stitching line or inside the stitching line that we've already got, making sure that we don't get stuck with the cursor. This tool can just help at detailed parts to keep the fabrics all together. So once this is stitched all the way along, we can turn it outside and you can see the lining is beautifully attached, and we now can start to see the shape of the bag. So top stitch either side of the zipper, making sure that you pull the lining away from the zipper to stop it from catching when you open and close your bag. This top stitching can just be 3 mm away from the edge of the velvet. Go all the way along and repeat for the other side so it's all top stitched. Position the tabs along the side of the bag, matching up the little marks, and taking the lining piece and sandwiching that the other side, and pin this or clip this together all the way through the fabrics, making sure that everything is all together. Stitch along at 8 mm from the edge. This should give you at the top edge a nice smooth line between the pieces. Again, this little tool will just help you guide. Trim the excess seam allowances, open it all up, and then top stitch along the side of the tab to keep it all together. This step needs to be repeated for both sides until you have both tabs in place. Now turn the bag over so you've got the lining side facing you, and take the lining part of the back of the bag and place it with the lining right sides together, matching the centre points of the top and the bottom, and then make sure your fabric matches all the way along. You might need to just encourage it at one point to make sure that it all matches up, keeping all your layers of fabric together, and just clip or pin all the way around so that you've got a nice smooth line to stitch Again, making sure that you've matched the bottom centre point before you pin the curves around, making sure that it's all nice and smooth and tucked in. Stitch all the way around, this time at 5mm, because we're going to go back and stitch again afterwards. Removing the clips or pins as you go along and making sure that all your layers stay together. Again, just guiding round the curves, and you just want to stitch all the way around. You can now see the stitching is visible on the outside, but your lining is now in place. Take the back part of the velvet bag and place a 30cm piece of strap, centering it on the edges, and stitch in place, making sure that it's firmly stitched and correctly in the center. Take the rest of the strap and do the same on the other side, stitching it firmly into place. Take the back of the bag and place it right sides together with the rest of the bag, matching up your center points. Clipping everything into place and making sure that your straps stay inside. Leave a 10cm opening at the bottom of the bag to be able to turn it around later. When you get to the sides with the straps, just make sure that your straps are properly in place so that you don't catch the straps when you're sewing. So it's all the way around with the strap sticking at the side, and then you're going to sew all the way around at 8mm, making sure that you sew the straps in place but don't catch the sides of the straps. Keep going all the way around, and then you are ready to turn the bag out. So just clip the corners, so it'll give you a neater edge when you turn, and you can also just snip along any of the curves. Turn around the bag through the opening, and you can pull the straps to get the tabs out. Just give it a gentle pull and it should come out, and then your bag is nearly ready. You just need to close the hole with a few hand stitches. Now we just need to do the strap, so just zigzag finish the ends, two ends to stop them from fraying. We need to take the 3 parts of the buckle and take the female part and thread it onto the short end of the strap. Once it's through, the excess, this is to the back of the strap, then just stitch across here, nice solid stitch, so that it's fixed in place. Now take the small buckle and thread it back and forth through the longer part of the strap. Take the last buckle with the correct side facing you, thread through and back with the excess to the rear of the strap. Now slacken off the strap and thread it back through the underside of the small buckle and pull. You can now adjust to your desired size. And that's it. Your bag is now finished. The lining is all in place and everything is beautiful.